The wetness of a cat's nose varies according to different factors, including ambient temperature, exercise levels, feeding, grooming behaviour, and even underlying health issues. AnimalWised explains why your cat's nose is wet and whether it is always normal. Is it normal for a cat's nose to be wet? Yes, moisture produced by the glands around their nostrils humidifies a cat's nose. Along with their inner tear duct, these glands promote secretions and make your cat's nose naturally moist. This doesn't mean there is necessarily a problem if it is dry, since an arid environment can remove moisture, but it can also occur due to problems such as overheating or fever. To avoid problems with low humidity, check the info button for a video on how to keep a cat cool in summer. However, there are other reasons your cat's nose is wet, not all of them positive. Causes of a wet nose in cats. A cat's water intake can explain the moisture levels of their nose. When a cat is drinking from running water or even a stationary bowl, it can wet their nose. It could also be due to grooming behaviour. Cats spend a large part of their day grooming themselves and others. They do this to keep themselves clean, but also to relax. Check the info button for a video with more reasons cats groom themselves. A cat's wet nose may also be due to weather conditions. When it's cold, but there is still high humidity, it's common for a cat to have a cold, wet nose, especially when compared to drier environments. My cat sneezes and has a wet nose. If your feline's nose is wetter than usual, they also sneeze and have nasal discharge, they may have feline rhinotracheitis. This is a common infectious disease in cats. The most characteristic signs include rhinitis, mucopurulent nasal and ocular discharge, weight loss, sneezing, secondary bacterial infections, and even pneumonia. In addition to rhinotracheitis, there are other diseases that can change the humidity of a feline's nose, especially if it's running. These include the following pathologies. Squamous cell carcinoma. Due to ultraviolet rays, this carcinoma develops more commonly in white or pink-nosed cats after exposure to the sun. It's a malignant tumour that spreads locally through the nasal passages, face, mouth and ears. It can also spread to the lungs or lymph nodes. The skin becomes reddish, with ulcerated areas and scabs with raised and hard edges developing. Polyp or nasal tumour. Nodules in the nasal cavity interfere with gland function and can increase nasal secretions. This results in the cat having a wet, runny nose. Inflammatory polyps in cats are non-tumorous masses that form from the mucosa of the eardrum, the eustachian duct, or the nasopharynx. It's more common in young cats and can be congenital. These cats present stertorous breathing as well as ear scratching and or dizziness. Pneumonia. This is an inflammation of the lung caused by bacteria, viruses, or parasites. Affected cats, in addition to a wet nose, will present a cough, fever, anorexia, lung sounds, and respiratory distress. Foreign body. The damage caused by a foreign body that enters a cat's nose is responsible for irritating the nasal cavity, causing inflammation, rhinitis, and a runny nose. It also predisposes them to secondary infections. Go to the veterinary centre urgently, especially if you see the discharge becoming yellowish or bloody. It can be serious and need prompt attention. If you see your cat's nose is becoming wetter than usual for no obvious reason, it's important you take the cat to a veterinarian as soon as possible. If you want to continue learning about cat health, here we share a playlist with lots more information. Please share any comments about your cat having a wet nose, and we'll see you next time.